I want to make a video about. I'm watching this new series. Well, I think it's actually the second time it's been on, but I didn't watch the last time. But I'm watching this one. I've got a sore throat still. Yeah, it's called The Traitors, and I love shows about psychology, and it's very different from Big Brother because they're not like living in a house, but it's like a big castle, and I find it very interesting because they there's I guess two types of people. You know, you've got the people who are faithfuls, and you've got the traitors. But there's the two types of people because you've got the people who want to be faithful and honest, and not be the ones that have to sort of eliminate someone every other night or every night. But the traitors, there's a group of people that probably want to be traitors, and I saw at the beginning, they were talking about whether or not someone he had she the interviewer, the presenter, I mean, had interviews of all the people to find out if they wanted to be traitors or faithfuls, and I thought she chose two people who definitely wanted to be a traitor, but she also chose someone who wasn't like there was the older woman who's got evicted now. I she really wanted to be a traitor, and I thought she would have been a really good traitor, but I realized that it actually worked to her disadvantage because I think her need to want to be a traitor made her seem like a traitor when she actually wasn't. So I feel like there's quite a lot you can learn from this show because it's not about detecting what people want to be. It's about detecting whether or not they are actually a traitor. In the show, they've got I think three. Yeah, there's three traitors, and there's like 20 castle mates, I guess they're called. Um, and the castle mates have to try and work out who's a traitor and who's not. But I feel like a lot of them are making the mistake of doing it via believe like whether or not they are showing the characteristics of wanting to be a traitor, or whether they're trying to get information from them or something. And I feel like the ones that wanted to be a traitor are more the ones that the characters that are acting shadier and therefore being more suspicious. But yeah, it's good for psychology. I like things that make you think about things, and yeah, I feel like if I didn't know who the traitors were, um, I wouldn't find the film very enjoyable because I would just be like, well, I don't know, it'd be annoying to watch something if you don't know the answers. But if you do know the answers, then I feel like that's when the psychology gets involved because you can see that the three people who are acting like acting like faithfuls when really they're traitors. Then there's traitors, and then there's the traitors, and then you can see the people who wanted to be traitors, but who are faithfuls and have to sort of act like faithfuls, but at the same time they're also struggling because deep down inside they know they wanted to be a traitor. So, but yeah, um, I don't know. I'm enjoying this film, and yeah. I also want to say if things change for me and I ever get into a relationship with, I don't know, to be honest, it's really annoying about the R. Kelly thing because people are insulting that kind of relationship, and yet I can't help but like the idea of it. I like the idea of me being in a house with kind of like a group of people, not so much about the sexual side, but just so much about, I like the idea of having a group relationship, um, and thinking about that donor that I kind of developed feelings for, which came out of nowhere. But that there was one girl particularly who I was talking to a lot, and then there was quite a few other girls that I never really spoke to them, but I think I saw posts that they were making and stuff, and I think some of them were, I think so some of them did post on chats to me about the negatives, but at the same time it was kind of a nice feeling to be part of a group, and the CMB is like, isn't that a Christian news channel? Like, I can't remember what the C stands for, but I feel like it's a Christian news channel, and I feel like a lot of Christians, would insult other ways of life, other ways of being, and the idea of someone being in a group relationship, that alone would probably be horrific or horrifying for them. The idea of a 21-year-old getting with a 50-year-old, again, that's also shocking to them, and And I think a lot of things that they would find shocking are actually things that I don't really find shocking, because I was happiest when I was between the ages of 12 and 15. I think I was absolutely really happy. I was happier when I was younger. And I feel like I've adopted a sort of childlike personality. Why? Because I feel happier being like that. And the memories of feeling young and feeling like um, guys are better than they are. If I had a relationship, I would love to have that kind of relationship where I feel like really, really young, and they can be whatever age. Age isn't anything but a number. And it's different though if they are literal children. But yeah, if someone just wants to be young, or feel young, and dating older guys makes you feel younger, and I kind of like that. But you know, I don't know. I'm sharing things that are going through my mind. And yeah, I kind of I've got so many clothes in my wardrobe, so many clothes, and I want to throw things away. And I for years I kind of wanted Martin to come back and like be like, hey, what can I throw away, or help me to decide. I don't know. And when it comes to what I wear, I usually just pick up the first thing up, because I don't feel like I have to impress anyone. I have nothing to. I have no reason to dress smartly or anything. And just this case annoys me. This case of what they're talking about annoys me, because a lot of people in this who talk about R. Kelly's situation, present it as terrible things. He was controlling what they were wearing and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, you know what? I sometimes just end up wearing the same things over and over again. And I think it would be nice to have someone be like, oh no, wear this today. And what they're insulting, their insults seem to be something that I kind of like or want. And it's just, I just don't know what was going on with the feces thing. But I, they would probably, the media has a way of controlling and manipulating things, and taking the worst thing, I don't know, something to do with feces, and then not actually explaining what it was with feces. Like maybe there was a time where, I don't know, someone pooed in a bed, and it got on someone. Maybe that's all that the experience was. But they would take something like that and be like, oh no, it's a sexual experience that involves feces, but I can't even talk about it, even though you're not talking about it. Maybe you're not talking about it because it's not actually a bad experience. Maybe it was someone that just, I don't know, farted and poo came out or something. When someone's saying that the story's so bad that they can't reveal the story, and then they don't reveal the story, you're just kind of left thinking, well, what is the story? If the story is so bad and involves feces, maybe it is just he farted and poo came out in an accident, and that was an accident, and it didn't mean to happen. If you don't know the story, then it's like, how is that bad? And yeah, that does sound pretty gross. But I also know that people can drink too much and then vomit all over the place. And I know I had one experience where someone was making me some nice cocktails, and I ended up vomiting in the middle of the night, and I almost died because I ended up choking on my own vomit. And apparently I wasn't waking up for about a minute. So I don't know what yeah. You could take an experience like that and see it as evidence that something very, very wrong is going on, when really actually I did just have a little bit. I think that there was too many shots in one of the drinks, and I tried to have too many. I was drinking. I went for a period when I didn't drink very much, and then when I had a lot, it kind of ended up not being not being a good experience. But you could take something like that and just spin it and make out that everything that I've gone through in my life, everything has been awful in my life, but it's not down or responsible for one person. But anyway.